I'm doing this again. Okay. Okay. Everything good? I think I'm good. Am I good? Okay. Let's see. Turn off my space heater. I need to hurry up and get some glue going. Hot glue with my mom's old hot glue gun. Alright, let's get that set. That's good. What else do I need? I need to unbox my silicone. That would be good. Meh. I've had this silicone sitting here in a box for a couple weeks, waiting for me to get around to making a mold, I guess. Alright. Unbox that. Yeah. Open sesame. Ugh. One thing of silicone. Okay. That there. Oh yeah, we gotta get chat rover talking. Come on, chat rover. Give me a sign. Talk to me, Chet. Talk to me, Chet. There you are. All right. Okay, is good. Get out my silicone. Oh God, that's washed out. Yeah, there we go. Mold Max 29 NV. Super Cow. Howdy, howdy, howdy. We're here. We made it. Yeah. So the first round of autonomous snowplow competition has kicked off tonight. There is another round of the same things tomorrow and Thursday. Luckily, I am not involved in those. Judging went pretty well. It was so 4 teams. Three teams were actually Dunwoody College. They're kind of a private tech school here in Minnesota, and then the University of Minnesota in Mankato, like South Minnesota. So all 4 teams, individually did their presentation of their project, and they kind of did them in sets. So because 2 Dunwoody teams team up for one competition, we have these collaborative things. So the 2 teams will have to kind of team up and see if they can clear a snowfield together. And so the 2 teams, would go kind of right away, whatever. Brain's still frazzled here, but yeah. So it's like one team presented, and then their partner presented, and then we had a little break, and then the next team presented, and then their partner would present, and so yeah, kind of wrap things up here, and it was good. I mean, there's some pretty cool ideas. I liked some of it. A lot of times it's kind of the same thing over and over again, but this year seems a little different. It seems like the teams have had a little more time to actually sit and think about their stuff. I've been drinking plenty of water sitting here. I've been sitting here for 12 hours now, just because work, and then I stopped working an hour early and started doing the presentation thing, and then I just got done with that, so now I'm here. So it's been a long day of being in this same spot. I did get to leave for a little bit today because I had to go meet my boss at the office. So that was kind of a nice little break. But it's only about 15 minutes away, so it wasn't a very long break. Course, how's it going? Probably a lot more time to sit and discuss ideas of simple. Yeah, I think they did. Yeah, they, because like normally we would be doing the competition now, whereas with COVID and stuff, we're going to be doing the actual, I don't know, kind of virtual competition. I think we pushed it off till about March or April, so it really kind of gives the teams a lot more time. Because I think one of the bigger complaints was just that the students, a lot of the students have jobs, they have classes to go to, they're very busy people, and we like, I don't know, kind of put this expectation on them that they need to get this snowplow done in a certain amount of time. So this year I think we tried to take some of that stress off, since we didn't have to have snow for the competition this year. But yeah, having camera issues on the rover? Oh, no, I just didn't turn it on. Excuse me. Let's turn him on. Ugh. I don't know how long he's gonna last. I forgot to charge the battery today, and I think it's down to 7.2 volts. Okay. Actually, I took this rover out for a little drive through the basement here, so that was kind of fun. Just using this view, this like kind of first-person view, and it was kind of fun. I would love to let you guys take it for a drive around the basement here, but I don't know. It's a basement. It's got clutter. There's clutter. There's, I don't know, a litter box. You'd end up potentially getting it. Well, you wouldn't get into it, but you'd get close enough, or you wouldn't want to get into it. But I don't know. There's just so much stuff on the floor to get into. One of these days I'll clean it up. I know. It's just like, it's one of those, it's like I guess your typical basement, kind of unfinished basement, it's just, when you move in, you just kind of throw everything into the basement, and as you live there, hopefully you get around to unpacking it and getting it upstairs, and we never really exactly got around to unpacking a lot of our stuff. And so yeah, it's still just kind of sitting around here in the basement. Anyway, I don't know about you guys, but yeah, we don't have a real great basement. I would say it's about half finished. There's some nice like old tile, which I'm pretty sure is asbestos tile. And then we have ceiling tiles, but as you can see, I've removed a lot of them here in my space. They're still up over in Kristen's space, but so yeah, half finished. Alright, so I really need to get hot glue onto this so it doesn't leak silicone everywhere. Oh Jesus, I didn't even heat this up yet. Whoa, worked lettuce with the subscribe. Thanks, man. Much appreciated. Mucho apreciado. I don't know if I said that right, but thanks, man. Worked lettuce. That's awesome. Yeah, sorry I can't come to your stream so much anymore. I like to pop in, say hi. Renew my subscription, and then I lurk for a minute, and I end up getting distracted with work and whatnot. But yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for subscribing. That's been 7 months now. Holy smokes. Time sure does fly, doesn't it? Let's see. I think on your stream everybody was hitting like a 3-month subscription, I think. Still grinding over here. Nothing's changed. Yeah. Yeah. Are you keeping busy though? Like you got plenty of projects in the works. You haven't run out of ideas yet. Let's test drove a Jeep for my kid. Nice. That would be so cool. Man. LiDAR. Lidar. Lidar's here. Welcome in. Yeah, let's see. So yeah, I didn't get very far with most things today, or even this weekend. It is Tuesday, isn't it? I think it's Tuesday. Feels like a Tuesday. So yeah, it's didn't get as far as I wanted with a lot of things. So yeah, rovers are still barely functional, I think. You got that one? Yeah, okay. This one works. Okay, good. I don't know for how long. It's 7.18 volts now, so I think probably below 7 you'll probably start losing the signal. We don't run out of projects because Steve Ramsey thinks of them all. Good old Steve Ramsey. Yeah, that's awesome. I need a mentor. I need some kind of like, I don't know, robotics or, I don't know, silicone resin mentor. I also need a light that's not so freaking bright. I could just like dim this one out a little bit. I'd be happy, but then like you would never really get to see what I'm doing, you know, on my table here. There it is. Yeah. Although this webcam here does have a light on it, but I don't think it really makes a difference down here. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll play with some things. There's a lot that I need to play with yet. So I'm like kind of in the works of like switching cameras around, and I think I'm pretty happy with at least having a different webcam versus the old camera I was using here, which was my laptop camera. Everything looked kind of, I don't know, faded or not faded, like just looked kind of blurry. And then now I got this new webcam up here and it looks better, but I'm still having trouble with the hotness of my lights, so I need to work on lighting yet. All right, so the plan is, so I got the mold pretty much ready to go. I just need to hot glue in the walls, and then we can pour some silicone. Hopefully we'll get that done before 10. And then we'll get it into the pressure pot, and then Thursday we'll remove all of this and pour the other side. That's the plan. That's the plan. We'll see if it goes all right. Let me know if the music's too loud or not. I didn't take time to adjust the volume. Usually I make a quick recording and then I listen back to it to make sure that my music volume isn't too crazy high or not there at all. I'm still also working on, I think, just general volume. I feel like a lot of times I'm a little quieter than everybody else, but then sometimes I'm louder than everybody else. I don't know. It seems like there's not really a certain decibel level that everybody kind of goes for. Some streamers are really quiet and others are really loud. But then, like, I sent my latest stream over to YouTube, and I was really quiet on YouTube, so I don't know. I don't know. Alright, so I'm just gonna go around this whole part with hot glue. Just need to prevent any leaks. Alright. Oh yeah, so the autonomous snowplow competition thing is actually looking pretty cool this year, being that the teams are going to try to cooperate with each other. They actually have to, like, the robots have to actually talk to each other, so it's kind of neat to see how the teams are going about doing that this year. Disaster! What's happening? Welcome in. I usually err on the side of loud. The way I figure is I'd rather have someone want to turn me down than want to make me louder, but they just can't. I haven't spent much time working on it. Yeah! Hey, Viking, welcome in. Good to see you. Yeah, I guess, like, in my case, when I'm watching other streamers, I'd rather turn them down, because, like, my volume can only go so high. and what really sucks is when, you know, you turn somebody all the way up and then they raid somebody and all of a sudden you're blowing out your speakers because they raided somebody who's much louder than them. So yeah, I guess I'd much rather be too loud than not enough. I've been around Twitch a long time and have a good baseline for audio levels. Oh good. So am I good or am I kind of low? I feel like I'm low, but then like Streamlabs is showing me in the yellow when I talk, so if I go any lower than that, I feel like I'm too quiet. Okay, I'm good. Awesome. I do have a few filters on as well. I think a condenser, so I forget. I think it's a condenser. It's the one where, like, if I make a really loud noise, or say I, you know, got a nice Calamity Cat laugh, you know, it actually doesn't blow your eardrums out. It just kind of condenses it into just loud. Is that a Calamity __ sticker? Yes, it is. It sure is. I got one with her patch. I forget how. I think I won this on one of her Wheels of Death spin. So I got her patch, and so it came with a sticker. I had to put the pasties on because, you know, nipples are illegal, especially on bananas. So yeah. She sends one out with every shipment. Yes, she does. Got my POV set up really close, messed with configuring. Oh, nice. Okay. So you got the whole, like, backpack thing I think you were working on. Basically, like, you're gonna be like the what's his name? Sushi Dragon, basically. It's gonna be pretty awesome. It's amazing. There's some weird static happening on the rover cam, though. Seems almost looks like another cam source. Oh yeah, the rover camera. I think I'm not exactly sure why that happens, but it looks kind of cool though, doesn't it? Yeah. It kind of makes it look like it's on another planet. But I'm not exactly sure why it flickers like that. It's got to be an antenna thing. It's the only thing I can think of. Like the statics makes me feel. Yeah, sliders. Sliders correct. I like that. Wish I could sort out my audio static issues. Oh yeah, you know, I kind of feel like I have something like that as well. Like, I wouldn't call it static, but there's kind of a fuzz when I talk. It's almost like when the microphone engages, there's kind of a fuzz. I don't know if it's coming from one of my filters or what. Yeah, I get ya. So chat doesn't hear, but apparently it's an OBS monitoring thing. Okay. Sounds about right. Yeah, it's it sounds kind of weird. I actually don't monitor my voice, which sometimes I feel like I should. Like I should be listening to my own stream or something, but I found like the delay kind of messes with me on that one. So yeah, I don't actually know how I sound. That's why I usually do like a quick like 15-second recording. Like I talk and I have my music playing and stuff. I hit record in slobs, and then I go back and I listen to it to make sure that my audio levels are where I want them, I guess. But yeah, a lot of the different sounds and stuff don't always come through until I listen to my VOD or watch my VOD at the end. Then I'm like, well, crap, that sounded terrible. It's making me feel uneasy hearing it in my ear. Yeah, I could see that. I thought you were just frying bacon in the background. I wish I was frying bacon. I don't monitor voice either. Okay. Use the Move Transition plugin. Yes, I do. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a fun little transition. It's nice and simple, and gets you where you need to go. Yep, just a basic move transition. I don't really have too many fancy like overlays and stuff going on. I did just recently start playing with the Snap camera. So Snapchat has an app for your computer, and it allows you to do different things like I can pop that up and it makes it look all cool, like I have some kind of sci-fi screen in front of my face. Party scene kind of thing, and then I got my Stray Swizzle cheat. So people are like, I want to see Stray Swizzle. I'd be like, boop, there's my eyeliner and makeup and whatnot. So yeah, super awesome. I want to redo my entire setup to use it. Oh man, eyeliner for the win. So many cameras, it would make transitions really cool. Yeah, it would actually. I think so. I know you had 8 cameras. I think you were saying something about going up to 10. I think so. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Seeing 10 different things moving around every transition. I do I like some of the ones like Bonsai Baby has the animated stuff. I think it's like the Batman, the early 1960s Batman sound, like transition, and then like some kind of transition screen, and then it goes to her next camera. Like, that's pretty cool. Especially when she's like changing from like her workshop to what else? Like she goes to kind of a back room where her little gaming setup is. So it's kind of cool when she makes transitions like that. I can't figure out where I had this. Whoops. You can't even see what I'm doing. Okay, so how did I do this? I gotta be kind of quick because I only have an hour to get my stuff poured. Okay, this is it. This is how I do it. Okay. 13? 13? Freaking, wow. I was annoyed at using 3, right? I know. I know. So in the future, you don't need to guess. Mark the walls, yeah. Technically there won't really be a future for this. I mean, come Thursday I will tear these walls off and then I'll reuse them for the other half, but that's about it. So I need to tack this down. How can I do that? Let me tack along this edge, actually. Yes, that's nice. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so more hot glue. I'm gonna hot glue this thing to the table. Okay. I guess I don't want to go too crazy with this because I do want to peel this up afterwards. So come Thursday, I want to make sure I can safely remove this wall without moving these parts in the silicone. If I do anything to accidentally remove these parts, like even just a little bit, if I peel the part up a little bit out of the silicone on Thursday, I technically might as well start over. So that's the downside to making molds. If your part moves just a little bit when you're doing the second half, you pretty much have to start over, because or at least in my case you do, because my parts are kind of exact. They have some dimensions that I really need to hold. Otherwise I spend a lot of time fixing them. That was my problem with the previous mold. This whole reason why I'm doing this is because I thought I'd try and make a new mold, or a new half of the rocker arm mold, and I screwed it up so badly that I ended up putting in probably a good 5 hours of cleanup work on my parts. And every single part that would come out of the mold, I'd have to Dremel for like 5 hours and do sanding and all this stuff, and it got to be a lot of work. So so I am now working on a new mold. Okay, you stay there. That's an adorable glue gun. Thank you. That's I stole this from my mom back when I was, I don't know, 13 or 14. And it still works, so. Yeah. Yeah. It's a handy little tool. Does your wife know you still have? Nope. No, stole it from my mom. I'm surprised you don't need to make them crazy big after watching that dude on YouTube. The jagged cut, that is. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean there's so many ways to make molds, and I don't know. I was really debating on how to do this, and I kind of just finally just settled on this one. I was pretty surprised though. When I posted about this, I took a picture of it and I posted it on Instagram, and a company that makes silicone and resin and all that stuff called BJB Enterprises or Materials or something like that, they actually commented on my post, and they're like, yeah, what you're doing should work. Here's some suggestions for next time. And I was like, dude, that's so nice of you guys. Sorry, I'm a little off camera here. Trying to just seal this edge in. So I gotta reload my mom's hot glue gun. I think I told my mom fairly recently that I stole her hot glue gun, God, 30 years ago. Damn near 30 years ago. And she's like, oh, I never even looked for it. So it was kind of nice to know that she wasn't looking for a hot glue gun all these years. I just like stole it out of her crafting closet back when I was making model rockets and stuff. I basically, like, I made my own model rockets. I never cared much for buying a kit and putting it together. I always had to, like, make them out of paper towel tubes and anything else laying around I could find. Semi-free stuff, right? Yeah, I'm hoping I could maybe get a little bit of a sponsorship from BJB or Smooth On or anybody. I made a nice picture and put it on Instagram with my rover next to some Smooth On bottles, and apparently Smooth On messaged me, or they sent me like an email or something asking if they could use the picture, and they sent it to, I guess my Instagram account was linked to a web or to a email service I didn't use anymore. And so I didn't find out about it until about a month later. Like, oh, hey, they sent me an email. Damn it. So by the time I replied, they must have just ignored me or something. So I didn't get any response. Another nice thing about this tiny hot glue gun, helps me get into these kind of tight spaces. That was the argument your father and I started on before. Nope. That's a whole other story. It was not due to me stealing a hot glue gun. Whole other story, and I found out about it on Facebook fairly recently. Of all things, I went my whole life thinking one thing and finding out a totally different scenario all through a post on Facebook. Found this awesome Ryobi glue gun on Amazon I want to buy. Oh, okay. Is it like automatic? Could you like hold the button down and it just keeps feeding? Because that would be so cool. Oh shit, too close to Oh no, that's okay. My parents got a divorce when I was like 5 or 6. So like, you know, I was barely aware. You know. And so I just, you know, I spent pretty much my whole life going to see my dad every other weekend. You know, and it just seemed kind of normal to me. Obviously, when I was, you know, I became a teenager, you know, life is a bit more emotionally charged as a teenager. You know, it kind of affected me, I think, a little bit. Not as much. You know, it's not like I ever blamed myself. Like you always hear people say that, like, oh, my parents got a divorce because of me. You know, I never felt that. I just knew my parents weren't compatible. They were two different people. They just were not. I don't know. I'm surprised they even got married. I'm surprised I'm here. Hopefully they didn't divorce over a missing glue gun. No, this glue gun happened much later. actually, I guess it wasn't much later. From the, let's see, it's about 7 years later. But no, they both remarried almost right away, and things were just fine. I end up with 2 Christmases every year, 2 Thanksgivings. What else? 2 Easters. So yeah, it's a. I'm totally off camera again. It's always good having parents being 2 different people. Hard to explain to the kids at school if your mom is your dad. Oh God. Yeah. Yeah, luckily I never really had to explain too much about that stuff growing up. You know, I think since, what is it, like half of all marriages end in divorce, like you have a pretty good chance of your friends also going through the same thing. So, yeah. Yeah, let's see. The glue gun takes an 18-volt battery. 18? That seems excessive. But I guess maybe not. being the kind of wattage that is required to melt glue. God, I hope I'm doing this right. See, like, the thing with mold making is you really have to think ahead. Like, how are you going to take this apart? How are you going to, reuse the walls? Like, or how am I going to reuse the walls? Because that's my plan, is I'm going to reuse these things on the second half. You have to think, what's this half gonna turn out to look like? Is it gonna leak? Yeah, one of the scary bits is, having it all drain out the pressure pot. But then, like, I don't want to attach it so well that I can't peel it off without damaging anything. Okay, I think that's good. Now I just have this big hole here to fill. I can probably fill that with another piece right here. Yes. Oh God, Kristen's making pizza. I can smell it. It's not toast this time. She's making pizza. Did I walk into a family store? Sure, I mean, kind of. I was just rambling, I guess, about, my parents getting a divorce when I was 6, or 5, I don't even remember. But, yeah, no big deal. Definitely not like a touchy-feely moment or anything. It's hard sometimes people just grow apart. They do. I can kind of tell. My dad, was always a bit unhappy with it, I think. But, come to find out why. So, yeah, that one I guess is probably not a story I should be sharing. But, yeah. It's all good. I don't mind. I'd buy one if it took a DeWalt battery. Like those DeWalt batteries. I do like those. I like that a lot of robots and stuff are using those DeWalt batteries. So like you just swap them out real quick. Sometimes the wife doesn't want to do sex anymore, and I'm like, well, damn, Helen, don't make me go out looking for someone willing to involve animals outside. Oh man, there's some numbers for you if it comes to that. I made pizza for lunch. Didn't even get a slice. Dang! What a bummer. That's like a cardinal sin. Gotta get at least one slice of the pizza you make. Sasaki! Hey, how's it going? Welcome in. Sorry, I'm off camera again. You turned out alright. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I turned out alright. I don't know. You know, it was okay, I think. For me, I don't know about my older sister. 2 years older than me. I don't know if she had a little bit more of a problem with my parents' divorce when we were younger. But I kind of, I don't know, in a weird way, I liked it because, you know, I got, basically I got two dads, you know, my parents remarried, so I had like one dad that's a little bit more like me and just very kind of relaxed and whatever, and then I had another, you know, my stepdad who was a bit more hard-headed, a little more authoritative, you know, and so I kind of, you know, I gained little, I don't know, traits or whatever from each one. You know, my stepdad liked to make sure that I knew how to work on cars. You know, my dad, you know, liked to make sure that I was just going to be a generally nice person. You know, that I was a good guy. So yeah, I got to learn little bits and pieces from each one. And then, you know, my stepmom, she was a bit different from my real mom, and, you know, just kind of, I don't know, they both kind of had their own ways of caring about us kids and stuff, and it was just, I didn't mind it. I remember at some point, you know, when I was young, I was like, "You're not my real mom," you know, yelling at my stepmom, but, I don't know. Stupid things like that. I'm on my 5th test print for servo attachments. Keep confusing myself. Oh no! Sucky. I'm also a child of divorce and came out fine. Yeah, that. And a hot stepmother? No. I mean, you know, she wasn't. I mean, she was nice looking, and or she is. I mean, she's still around. But yeah, I guess I don't know. She's definitely you know, good looking. Just I don't know, stepmom. That's although I do remember I remember a friend in elementary school. He had a really hot stepmom, and he was kind of weird about it. He was a little weird about it. Might have came up with a 3D printable solution to putting holes in the center of the straps. Oh really? Well, that'd be cool. I guess you could share a picture on Discord or something if you want. Or here if you can. I've seen these videos on the internet. The internet's for porn. Okay, so I think this is fully sealed. God, it's 9:20 already. Oh, I see a hole. Don't want a hole. Do not want holes. Problem is I'm like hot gluing to clay, and the clay just kind of melts. Oh, there's another hole. There's another one. Yeah. Last thing I want is all of my silicone to run out onto my into my pressure pot. Maybe what I'll do is shoot, I can't really go along the bottom here because then it'll be uneven. Shoot. So like I need to make sure that it stays level. And so if I add hot glue to the bottom here, it's gonna make it not level. You know what? I'm just gonna take this hot glue and go around one more time for good measure. My biggest problem is leather working, or in leather working, putting holes in the center. Yeah, I imagine that would be difficult to make it yet. Still need to actually design, print, test, redesign, reprint. Yeah, it's kind of the way it goes, isn't it? Yeah, oh man, leather working. I've tried it a little bit. Like back, Krista and I were really into making like steampunk stuff, and of course you gotta have leather when you're doing steampunk stuff, and so we kind of dabbled in leather working. She made a pretty cool gun holster, but you know, we didn't really have the right tools, and so like her fingers were so sore for days that she just never wanted to do it again. Okay. Good? Is that everything? God, I don't know. I'm nervous. But I gotta hurry because I need to get this in the pressure pot soon. I feel like this is not good streaming content. Okay. Okay, good. I didn't miss anything in chat. So, alright, so next thing. So I have little strands of hot glue now that need to be off of the part. Hopefully away from the parting line. So we don't want to ruin the parting line. You guys can see I've gone through, you know, a good bit of labor trying to smooth out around the part, so I'd have a nice smooth parting line all the way around the part. I was debating on covering up these little registration domes because they're kind of layered, like, you know, they're 3D printed, so they're kind of layered, and I was afraid that maybe the layering would get picked up by the silicone, and then the silicone would have a hard time registering because the layers would catch on themselves. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I decided I didn't need to cover them up. Okay, so everything looks good. I think I'm free of holes. I hope. Yeah, there's one spot. There's another one. Get that spot. Okay. Okay. I think. Maybe. Okay, so let's get the mold ready. Here we are. It's looking for my saran wrap. So I'm doing the rice trick that you probably see Sasaki use a lot. Come off. So in order for me to do the rice trick, I have to not melt my plastic, but I usually put in some saran wrap. That way my I don't get like rice powder all over everything. Good old rice trick. Oh, that rice trick. That was a Bangkok thing. No. Not this time. Maybe next time. Okay. Hopefully this will work. So this also allows me to quickly empty it as well. So, you know, I keep the rice residue off of my part, and then also I can just pull this bag out basically and pour it right back into this bag. But I can already see rice is getting past it. They didn't have a big enough piece apparently. So those of you who are unfamiliar with the rice trick, so this is a way to determine how much silicone you need to fill your mold. Cool. Silver, hey, how's it going? Welcome in. Swiggle. Is that rice pink? Jesus, no? Wow, yeah, I see what you're saying though. It is kind of looking a little pink. What if I put my hand there? Does it... Yeah, okay, so it kind of changes. Looks like the saturation or something of my camera. But no, it's like, is it brown rice? Yeah, brown rice. So it's not brown exactly, but it's brown. Okay. How are you? I'm doing all right. I had a rather busy day. I've been in this spot now for 13 hours. So, you know, working from home, and then I had to judge this autonomous snowplow competition stuff from here, and then once I finished that, I started streaming. So it's been a bit of a long day in this one spot, but it's okay. I have a half an hour. Okay, half hour. All right. So I need a container for my silicone. One that's clean. Yeah, it's got a little bit of old silicone in it, I guess. That'll be fine. That's fine. Okay, so that's how much silicone I'm pretty sure I need. I may need to go a little bit more because I'm sure this isn't like filling in all of the spaces. Just probably because my saran wrap kind of didn't go into all the corners and stuff. So I'll just add a little bit extra to this. But this is how much I need. And if I can hopefully successfully get the saran wrap out of here without spilling too much rice. There we go. Okay. And I can transfer this into this container like so. And there we go. So now I have how much silicone I need, which is, let's go. Oh, very interesting. I already have a line there. That's pretty cool. So apparently that's how much I used the last time I made a mold. Let's erase that line and go just a little bit higher. Just so I make sure I have enough. Okay. So there's that. Now, I'll try and pour out the rest of this. Okay, good. Didn't make too much of a mess in there. Do have a lot of strands of hot glue though. Okay, that's good. Take this. Oh Jesus. I'm running from the basement to the attic and back. Oh wow. Yeah, this was oh thanks, Silver. Sent a robot snowplow to rescue Boyd. Oh man, that's right. Yeah, you guys are getting buried down. Well, Boyd is, I guess. I don't know about Southern California, but yeah, all the poor Texan folks. I was just kind of watching a little bit on the news. How, you know, like homes there are not insulated like they are here, because like it's been negative 30 pretty much past 2 weeks. So, you know, we're all fine. We have running water, we have heat, power, all that kind of stuff. But like down south, the infrastructure is just not prepared for such things. So run into quite a bit of problem. Nice trick. Thanks. Yeah, I've been. I think I learned this from YouTube at one point. Somewhere on YouTube, I can't remember. I think it was Punish Props. I think. But yeah, so then I'll just pour this back into my bag after stream. Hopefully, I don't spill it all over my desk. Get out of there. Don't want rice in the silicone. Okay. Silver with the lurk. Okay, cool. No problem. Thanks for lurking. Type emails and start dinner. Are you going to eat the rice now? Hell no. Where's the punchline for the trick? Oh. Nope. I have no plans of eating this rice. It's been sitting down here for a while. It'd be like eating the rice in the bottom of Sasaki's pressure pot. It's been thoroughly used. Boyd's been without power since yesterday. Yuck! You can do it with water, but this is cleaner. Yeah, I mean, if I were to get this wet, I mean, I'm using foam core here, so I don't think that would do well with water. And then I'd have to dry the thing out before putting anything in it. Because I don't think silicone and water really do well together. So yeah, water not so much, unless I did the bag thing again, I guess. I'm a long time Punish Props viewer myself. Nice. Yeah, he's cool. I like watching his stuff, and that's really where I learned a lot of this mold making process from. Water plus resin equals bad, though. How are the people in Boyd watching? Yeah, I just can't imagine like being without power that long. When we first moved in, it's for some reason the place where I live here, it's like customary to get a power outage when you move in. And yeah, like everybody in the neighborhood has had a power outage the day they moved in, and we got it too. So we got a little power outage the day we moved in, and then like I don't know, a month later we got one that lasted about a day, and that's when we decided to go get a generator. And I like overpowered the hell out of the generator. I basically added up all the fuses, so like all the 15s, the 20s, I added all that up, and then determined the wattage that I needed, and went out and got a generator that had that amount of wattage or more, and so yeah, I have this super overpowered generator that could power the whole house if I needed to, but it's louder than hell. So so yeah, we have this really nice generator. And of course, after I bought it, I don't think I've ever used it. Power has pretty much stayed on. At least it only goes out for like an hour or two. Usually whenever we get a decent storm, the trees are so close to the power lines that they usually knock into the power lines and cause some the short. But yeah, I can't imagine. And like, yeah, kind of seeing like Calamity's post where it's like she's saying it's 50 degrees in her house, and yeah, like, I mean, that was what, earlier today, I think. So I'm sure it's even colder now. And then yeah, she was saying something about the pipes are starting to freeze. We have another friend that's like, I think in the Houston area, and yeah, they don't have water, like running water right now. No heat, no running water. It sounds pretty miserable. I found a piece of rice. Imagine if that had drifted onto my part. I'd end up cleaning a piece of rice off of every part then that came out of my mold. I have to chip away a rice-shaped piece of resin. 9:39. Oh boy. Okay, not much time. Let's see. My grandfather had a military surplus generator that was a tow behind. It powered 3 houses at once. They're nice. That's something to have. We had some during the storm a few years ago. Been hanging out at friends' houses for a few days. Coded a side project from there. Nice. That's one way to spend some downtime. Oh boy, doesn't have to start turning blankets for heat. Oh god. Yeah, it's like, I mean, what do you do? I know there's like indoor propane heaters. You know, like we use them for ice fishing and stuff. I don't know how effective that would be. I guess it'd be better than nothing. But yeah, I think you probably still need a carbon monoxide detector just to make sure that you're not poisoning yourself. Even though it's, you know, supposedly indoor, you still want to do that. I remember having I was in this apartment. It was basically a renovated mansion from the 1890s. It was converted into apartments, I guess, in the 50s, but it had like single pane windows, and they're huge windows, and yeah, like it would get really cold in the winter, and the stupid little radiator heat thing on the walls was just not keeping up. So my friend and I we turned all 4 burners on the stove, pointed a fan from the kitchen into the living room, and that was working really well. I guess thanks to the structure of the house, the draftiness of the windows, we didn't get carbon monoxide poisoning. Or maybe we just didn't leave them on long enough, I don't know. We just run them for like an hour, warm the place up, turn them off again. Because we didn't have to pay for the gas bill. We have one in the kitchen, it's called a stove, right? Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, like, couldn't you just turn the oven on for a while? I mean, maybe not, I don't know if it's okay to leave the door. Yeah, really. Like, if you keep the oven on, it's venting into your home for, you know, however many hours. Because they don't usually vent outside. So yeah. Actually have a gas fireplace in the basement where my new workshop. Oh, that would be so nice. And the kitchen is good. Yeah. Yeah, oh, I know, like, our windows are a little drafty here, and so now that it's been, you know, minus 30 for a while, we decided to put a space heater in the living room. It's like, hey, this is great. How come we didn't think about this sooner? You know, it really makes me want to have a little fireplace, like just one of those little like wood stoves or something. And then we have to knock a hole in the side of the house, and you know, that would be kind of frustrating. All controls are electric though. Oh yeah, that's no good. The stove I can power with just a match. Yeah, there you go. Well. Oh, I smell it. Yay! You successfully made pizza and didn't cut your fingers off. I'd say that's good. Or burned yourself. Yeah, I could smell the pizza, and this time it wasn't toast.
It's not toast.
Definitely not toast this time. Yep, I can make coffee. Okay. Rory! Thanks for the follow. That's awesome. Yeah, awesome. Yes, I can make coffee. I can do all do that stuff, I guess. Let's see. I need to run the air compressor then before you go to sleep. Let's see. Yeah. Excuse me, guys. I'm going to run the air compressor real quick. Alright, good night. Check you later. I did it right. Okay, loud noises.
Mic off. Mic on.
Okay. Let's had to run the air compressor before she goes to bed. That would not be a pleasant thing to wake up to. Okay, so yes, back to Rory Jacob Evans. No problem. It's an interesting project. Thanks a lot. I'm trying, trying to make it interesting. Put the headphones on. Oh right, headphones. Okay, so now I need to dispense silicone and do it in a way without making a big mess. So I'm going up to my line. I probably should weigh this because it's not a 1-to-1 ratio with the hardener. But, you know, I'll burn that bridge when we get there. Actually, this might be the entire container. It's close. Definitely close. Okay, that'll do. That'll do. I said that'll do, Jug. Oh, Jesus. Make a big mess. I was also siliconing earlier today. Oh, nice. What were you? Oh, yeah, yes. Probably siliconing, let's see, another burl? Another wood burl piece? What were you working on? Does your measuring cup have helpful marks for parts? No. Well, yes, it does, but not really for this. It does have... It has some markings, but mine's like a... You know, it's a 2-part mixture. This is like 3 parts, I think, and 4 parts. So, yeah, the 2-part one just doesn't work for me. But so basically, what I end up doing is I find out how many like milliliters it is, and then being that it is a 10-to-1 ratio, so I figure out where I'm at, which looks to be about 550 milliliters. So 10 of that would put it at 605 milliliters. So yeah, 10% of that. So yeah, so now I just I put this in there up until it gets up to about 600 milliliters, and then I know I'm pretty much good. More burls. Okay, good. I'm kind of keeping up. I mean, I was kind of watching today. I don't think I saw you do much siliconing. I think, yeah, I lurked for a minute and then had to step away for work and stuff. Okay, Burrows only did a bit of resin siliconing, used some basic cups and all, trying to figure out if fancy cups are useful. Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, you know, definitely you want something with markings on it, you know. Definitely have something with some kind of graduated markings on it, unless you're able to go with weight. Like this can be, this is like a 10-to-1 by weight. It's by weight. It doesn't say volume. F. It does say gram scale required. Oops, I've been doing it wrong all this time. Huh, son of a bitch. Need to make a mold for a resin stamp this weekend. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, the stamp. A coworker of mine was trying to get me to make a stamp for, and I just wasn't real sure how I was going to get some of the fine detail that she wanted. Basically, it was like little butterflies, and you know, the lines of the butterfly were like 2/1000ths thick. You know, like, you know, I can't print that. Maybe it could be machined, but I don't have a machine that could do that. And so, yeah, I kind of told her no. Once you get used to the cup scales, they make things very easy. Oh, good, yes. Metric! Yeah, I mean, occasionally I use metric. Occasionally. It's hard, though. You know, when you're so used to freedom units, it's hard to always switch or try to make that transition to metric. Okay. Pour this in. It's nice little egg yolk sort of look. So I'm filling this up until I get to the 600 milliliter mark. But yeah, metric is so much easier though, honestly. It's like I'm looking at the ounce lines right next to the milliliter lines, and the ounces just don't make any sense. Whereas like I can do some quick math with milliliters. But yeah, I'm sure ounces not making any sense is not news to you guys who use the metric system. Weigh another cup and subtract it from the total. Yes, I could do that. I could do that. That would be smart. I think I do that with resin every once in a while when I forget. Just got my maker's mark in brass. Made my first foiling today. Oh, cool. Yeah, I was raised in metric and all this American mumbo jumbo. Yeah, you know, like in the US, they always say, you know, we're gonna convert. They teach us the metric system in school, especially the science classes. But it's like you get out in the real world, and you know the real world in the US is not metric, so you quickly lose it. So yeah, it's unfortunate because I mean the metric system just makes a hell of a lot more sense. I guess I would use it, but I'm just so set, you know, being kind of an engineer for, you know, pretty much my entire working career now. You know, always using imperial units. It's hard to switch now. It's hard to, like, I don't, you know, if I could just look at something and know that's a meter or that's a millimeter, then it wouldn't be so hard. But I don't have anything to compare it to. You know, whereas like a foot, I can look at my shoe and be like, okay, that's about a foot. You know, I mean, my shoe is about 10 inches, foot is 12, but still, you can get a rough idea. I don't know what in the metric system translates to about, you know, the size of your shoe. Trying to count calories, and all the food is measured in 15 different units. Holy cow. Blows my mind. In metric world, we actually measure things. 12 centimeters? 12 centimeters is about the size of your shoe? Gosh, that would make sense. Guessing, okay. Like, at work now, like I work with a lot of like scientists and stuff, a lot of guys with doctorates degrees, and they use the metric system. So I'm trying to like draw things in CAD using the metric system. It's so difficult for me to like comprehend how big something is. You know, I throw it on the 3D printer and it's microscopic. 2.5 centimeters equals, oh, in 1 inch, okay. 12 centimeters too small, okay. Kind of thought so. Like 30 centimeters is a foot. In metric, I usually use a piece of A4 paper for reference. One side is about 30 centimeters, the other about 20. Huh, okay. Interesting. A4 paper. See, I'm not real familiar with paper. Like is that like your standard printer paper? Because like for us here, it's a 8.5 by 11 inches. 3 feet in a meter. Okay. I remember like science class having a meter stick, so I kind of remember about how long a meter is. Yeah, the multiples is the way to go, man. It's just so easy. All I know is that 3/4 inch ply is 19 centimeters. Yeah. It's so dumb, like dealing with fractions, and that's like, it's one of the things that, really confuses a kid in early math class, like elementary school math class. It's freaking fractions. If we didn't have fractions, you could progress through math class pretty darn quick. Trying to multiply fractions, that's a mind bender when you're small. Like, okay, I have a pizza that I sliced into 4 pieces, and I took one away. Now, times this by another pizza that I cut into 4 pieces and took 2 away. Like, what? Doesn't make any sense. Imperial is all over the shop. Multiplying by 10 is so much easier. It is. I mean, that's how I just got this. How I got this measurement. I had 550 milliliters. I needed 10% of that, basically. So, what's 10% of 550? 55. So you add 55 to 550. I'm at 605 now. It's pretty nice. Why are you taking the pizza away, Phil? Why? Paper system is really neat as well. Okay. Square meter and area. Okay. Wow. I guess that kind of makes sense. I'm just not familiar with paper. Math is just math. Just add a 0 to multiply or remove a digit to divide, right? Matter the system base. Well, yeah, I guess, but I mean, when you're like a kid trying to figure out how to multiply fractions, it's just dumb. Nowadays, I guess what I would do is, I would just divide the fraction into a decimal and then multiply the decimals on a calculator. But like back in school, you had to do it longhand, It was like you had to do some weird like add the denominator, add the numerators, I think, and I don't remember. But like doing it all longhand was just stupid. I never knew that A0 is 1 square meter. I learned other bases in that comp. Huh. Yeah, I guess I never would have known that either. Super useful for CAD drawings. You can print on a size down, and it'll be twice the scale or the reverse. Oh man, that sounds fantastic, Rory. Well, we actually learned fractions in Russian school too, just never for measurement. Shit. Something else, huh? Drugs, perhaps? I don't know. Russian? Wow, that sounds cool. Oh, hey. Did you know Stray Robotics has a Discord server? Click on the link to find out more. Russia. Fractions not to you. Soviet Russia, fractions do you. My hand hurts. So like stirring this is just kind of slow and annoying. I should probably have a stir. I saw a video recently of who was it? It was Bonsai Baby. She was mixing up, I think, resin or something, and used like a power tool, and sprayed it all over herself. It was made such a mess because she like accidentally let go of the container and it spun, and so it just threw liquid resin everywhere. So yeah, that did not look fun. Okay, so I'm going to pour this now. You guys ready? So I'm kind of ready. I'm ready to see it start leaking out. My hot glue gun is ready, just in case it does start leaking out. Ready! She took her hand off. Yeah! That's right. Stir crazy are we are. Russia has the whole other math school. I'm not that good at that shit, but all the stats and stuff are somewhat different from Western school. Huh. Well, that'd be interesting. You know, was only a problem because she was power stirring it. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine it probably didn't help. But what do you do? Alright, should I zoom in? Should I zoom in on this? I don't know if you guys want to see that close. But so basically what I'm going to do, I guess you can see in this camera here, that what I do is I actually pour in a thin stream. So I'll start kind of low to make sure I'm actually going to land inside the container, and then I'll go up high and just let it ooze down in there. So the idea behind that is to pop some of these bubbles as they come out. So like in this thin stream that's coming down, the idea is that any bubbles are being stretched and that they pop while they're stretching. And so this is the way we pour this stuff, just nice and slow. Let it kind of flow over the part. That way it doesn't trap any air anywhere. Actually see a spot of clay I want to smooth out. Good thing I saw that. Otherwise, I would have had some flashing to clean up on every part. Oops, I stopped pouring. Come on, pour. There we go. So yeah, so this kind of takes a minute. Nice and easy though. And then once the part is covered, then I can kind of speed up. But right now, yeah, parts are not covered, so yeah, go nice and slow. Just popping bubbles as they come out. This silicone is non-vac, so it's a little bit thinner than the others, and so the idea behind that is the bubbles will kind of rise to the top. Just the model as you pour, real professional. I never really claimed to be a professional. That's why I don't make any how-to videos, because I know there are much better people out there than me. But yeah, you guys kind of at least get an idea of how I make these things. This is probably the 4th time I've made rocker arm molds. Because I think, I changed the idea. I changed the part some way. Again, I'm seeing stuff on my parts. There's a little bit of clay on this one, I think. Maybe not. But yeah, anything that's on the part is going to show up on every single part that comes out of this mold. So you have to make sure that the part, it's like all these master parts are totally clean. So, if there's anything on these master parts that you don't want there, they're going to show up every single part that comes out. Alright, so I think I can probably start speeding this up a little bit. Especially since my arm's getting tired. This is probably where the time lapse would come in handy, huh? How many castings would you be able to make with this mold? Being that this is a tin cure and not a platinum cure silicone, I would expect to probably get 50 parts or so out of it before it started to kind of tear and fall apart. So, not too bad. I think if I were to use the platinum cure stuff, I could probably get, you know, maybe 100 or more, a couple hundred, before anything started to kind of fail on the part, or on the silicone. But platinum cure is a little bit more finicky. You have to be careful what kind of clay you use. If there's any kind of sulfur in the clay, it'll react to the silicone, and then the silicone won't cure. Same with 3D printed parts. Sometimes there's sulfur in the resin, in the filament. And so, like, these parts are 3D printed, so there's a chance that they could affect the platinum cure silicone. Your gloves. So if you have gloves that have a bit of sulfur in them, that will also affect your silicone. So yeah, platinum is definitely more durable. It's just you just have to be more careful with the stuff you choose to use it with. You know, it's I think it works the same. It's just you just have to, you know, be sure to read labels and stuff. Make sure you don't have sulfur in anything. I didn't know that sulfur could be in some of the filaments. That was a new one to me. I just learned about that one myself. Let's see. This is good. I need to come up with a project like that for fun. Yeah, it is pretty neat. I like being able to recreate stuff. So, like, you know, if you have an action figure or, you know, anything that you want duplicates of, you can make a silicone mold of it and just make copies. Endless copies. And, like, you can even copy your silicone mold before it goes bad. So, like, what you can do is you can pour resin all over, like, 1/2 of the silicone. That way you get a negative of that silicone, and then you can just keep pouring silicone, or you can pour silicone onto that resin and basically make a duplicate of your mold. So it's a little bit of a lengthy process, but you can do it, and that's a good way to keep having a silicone mold available. So, like, while you're using one and it starts to kind of fall apart on you, you can throw that away and use one that you made a copy of, and then make a copy of that before it goes bad. So it's pretty cool. This Phil Lament, same guy taking the pizza. You pouring inside those 3D printed parts too? Yep. So yeah, you'll see it start to kind of fill in. So you want the silicone to just kind of gradually flow in. That way you're not trapping any air bubbles in there. Tin cure works good enough. Yeah. Yeah, I think for the most part it does. Like, maybe in my case, since I'm gonna be theoretically making hundreds of rovers, I will probably want to switch to a platinum cure. But currently I'm still kind of practicing in a way, so tin cure is just easier and it's cheaper. Okay, 8 tests. Wait, I have the right size. Yup. Yeah, no bubbles. levels is good. Yep. Yep. So it's my arm is definitely getting tired. But now that the part is completely covered, I can pretty much just start pouring this in. I should also be watching for leaks. But yeah, just kind of want to fill this up, make sure that those parts of the rocker arms that just got covered, I want to make sure that there's, you know, maybe a 1/4 inch of material above those. At least that's what I was going for, is maybe about a 1/4 inch or maybe a little less. Because I just want to make sure that my mold is going to be, you know, structurally sound. I want to make sure it's not going to tear prematurely because it's too thin in spots. Plus, you know, having some structural strength would be good too. Being that my parts are kind of, you know, kind of sensitive to, you know, shrinking, or even like if my mold is crooked in some way, my parts will come out a little crooked, and so then my rovers will drive crooked, or you know, I might not be able to get a motor into one of these openings in the part that you know, so it's like dimensionally I have some kind of tight tolerances for the motors. So yeah, this is probably also not the best silicone to be holding tight tolerances with. I think there is a little bit of a shrink factor involved in this stuff. I think the platinum cure doesn't shrink as much. It's not a lot. I think it's like, I don't know, was it like 1% or something like that, you know? It's like 1% shrink. So it's not crazy, but there is a little bit of a shrink, and then the resin tends to shrink a little bit too when it cures. So since I'm dealing with, you know, tight tolerances, I have to be kind of aware of these things. Okay, so it looks like I may have a leak somewhere. I thought I saw a little bit, yeah, there's a little bit of goo that's coming off on my mat here, so I must have some kind of hole somewhere. So let me rotate this a little bit off of the table so I can see. Ugh, where is it coming from? Okay, I see it. I see it. Let's add some hot glue. I know I didn't want to hot glue the bottom, but I think in this case I have to. What I'll do now is, with the hot glue still hot and malleable, I'll squish it down. So there we go. That's nice. Which brand of silicone do you use? I use Smooth On. Smooth On Mold Max NV. I'm sorry, what did I miss? Journey Goods has cheered 5 bits. Hey, thanks for the bits. But yeah, that's the stuff I use. Smooth On Mold Max 29 NV for non-vac. It's not like real stiff stuff. Here's my previous mold of the rocker arm. So there we go. So like, you know, something this thick is, you know, relatively supporting its own weight. So it's fairly rigid, but it's still soft enough where I can kind of pry it away from my parts. You know, be able, like, 'cause my parts don't have like a draft angle designed into them, so it does take a little bit of like squishing of the mold to be able to get my parts out. Sorry, I'm also trying to talk quietly. I hope I'm not talking too quietly, but trying to talk quietly since Kristen has gone to bed, and I'm kind of almost right below her. She says that she can hear my voice kind of vibrating. Do you usually do two-part molds? Yeah, for these ones I do. The wheels I do not. So here's the wheels. This is a single part mold. And they make... I have parts right here. So they make these. And so I get them out of the mold, with kind of a rough face on them. And so what I do is I put them on my CNC router, and I line up all 4 wheels in a row, and I have my router come by and clean up the faces. These ones I don't know how that's going to work, because now the face is going to be white. So this was kind of an experiment. I was trying to see if I could get like dirty looking wheels, because we're trying to figure out how to do like a dirty looking rover, something that looks like it's been like on Mars for a while. So yeah, so most of my molds are 2-part molds except for those wheels. Okay, so I think this is good. Any other leaks? I think I see one here. Okay, I think I'm good. I think. A little bit of a leak, but I think I sealed it up, so should be good. I think this will be just fine. Don't drop it on yourself, right? Parts are prone to shrinking. It's cold. Yep. Yeah, the dirty rover. That was kind of a fun thing to try. Kind of got me thinking. So like, Perseverance is landing on Mars on Thursday, and I was thinking, man, I'm just behind. Like, had I been thinking, I could have done like a Perseverance, Curiosity, rover tribute kind of theme, and I could be selling rovers the whole time this, Perseverance is in the news. So that would be so cool, but I was just so late to the party on this one. Ugh. Okay, let's see. So I have my pressure pot. I don't know how I'm going to show you guys. Let's see. How can I get a camera down into the pressure pot? Let's see. Let's see how I can do this. Yeah, is this good? That looks alright. You can kind of see the pressure pot in my asbestos tile. There we go. Why do you not put the mold on top of the sheet to avoid leaks? Well, that's a good point. Just point out with the finger. Yeah, I could definitely, I could put some plastic down. Well, I mean, the nice thing with silicone though is that it peels right out. So I guess I'm not too concerned about it leaking and making a mess. I mean, obviously I don't want the mess, but I'd rather have the silicone in the mold. Okay, so let's see. What's a good way to transfer this in there? So the nice thing about silicone is that you have plenty of time to work with it. Unlike resin, where I'd be scrambling to get it in. There. Now, to make sure it's level, I have a bubble level. I'm just gonna plop down in there, make sure. Oh, it's not level. There. That ought to do it. Now I need to get my bubble level out of there without disturbing anything. So I'm going to use a piece of tape. Come on out. Come on out of there. Oh, don't tell me you're not going to stick. There we go. Okay. Alright. Bubble level out. Pressure pot together. Make sure I can read it. There we go. Plastic is for disposing of the bodies. It is. Real pressure pot, not the Harbor Freight transformer I made. Nope. Just don't trip over it. Yeah. Yeah, I put a lot of thought into this one. You know, I've heard horror stories of the Harbor Freight pressure pots. Usually, like, the clamps will fail and the lid comes flying off. And, you know, it's a safety thing, I thought, you know what, I'm going to spend the extra money just to make sure that I don't get my head blown off by a lid. So, yeah, put a little bit of thought into that one. Otherwise, you know, there's probably nothing wrong with Harbor Freight stuff. You know, especially if you're just getting started in something, you know, you don't want to spend a ton of money on a DeWalt tool or whatever, you know, if you don't know if you're even going to use it, you know, so why not go to Harbor Freight, get kind of the cheap one, and if you start running into issues with it, then go buy the more expensive one, you know. If you find out maybe you weren't that into whatever you were using that tool for, then you're not out a whole lot of money. You know, you can just be like, oh, it's a good try. I know Adam Savage talks about it in his book. Buy the cheap tool until you know that you're going to use it a lot. If you find out you're using that tool a lot, then go buy the expensive one, because it's totally worth it to buy the expensive one. Save yourself a big hassle. Alright. Let's dump some air into this thing, eh? Okay, here we go. Going up to... I go up to about 40 psi. Usually that's what I cast my parts at, is about 40. It seems to be working all right. So I found that if I don't put pressure on the silicone, when I go to put pressure on the resin gets forced into microbubbles in the silicone. So if I compress the microbubbles now, they won't exist when I go and pressure the resin that goes in them. 40, I think, can do at least 60. Yeah, it says operating pressure less than 60. So yeah, I don't know. The regulator on board was set at 40, and I just never changed it. So 40 seems to do all right with my parts. So pretty happy with it, I guess. So I need another project for resin casting. Yeah, you do. Everybody needs a project. I need to buy new silicone and resin though. First batch probably expired by probably. If it's been 6 months or more, depending on the temperature it was stored at, yeah, it could be donezo. All right, so I need to probably end stream here. Being that Kristen's probably trying to sleep, I need to shut down. Ugh. There we go. Back to normal. So, should we raid anybody? Do you guys have anybody in mind? I have not looked, obviously. Alright, this can go here. Just doing a little bit of cleanup here. Get some stuff out of the way so we can get this raid on. Blech. Stray's on, raid him. That's usually what happens. I get raided right around this time. First thing I made was an LED encased in resin. Oh, that sounds cool. That would be a lot of fun. Let me stop my music so I can concentrate. Thank you for the stream. Always fun. Yeah, thanks for joining in. Thanks for the 5 bits. That's awesome. I'm glad you're having a good time here. I usually try to make things pretty entertaining. I try to do all the boring stuff off stream. Let's see. Who can we raid? Let's see. Peeper. Wow, Peeper's always on. I don't... Unpredictable artist. How did Monday get here so fast? It's already gone? I don't know. Deuce Jay-Z. I don't know who that one is. Peeper. Unpredictable. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. We haven't rated Peeper in a long time. we could jump. Although I don't know if I've ever rated Unpredictable Artist. Let's see what she is doing. I can't remember. Oh Jesus, she's laughing. So let's see. So she is painting. GG. Okay, disaster. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out, and catch you later. Let's see, we have Peeper. What's Peeper up to? Leatherworking. I know there's some leather workers here, huh? Yeah, we could always raid Peeper. He's always fun. So yeah, I should probably do this quick, otherwise end up getting raided. So alright, let's gonna drop off soon now. Okay, no problem. I'm gonna drop off soon too. I totally hear you. It's getting late. Deuce is a buddy of mine learning Spanish and Blender modeling. Okay, I'll have to check that out sometime. I think I've pretty much committed to Peeper here, just because I'm half hour overdue right now, and I just need to stop talking, basically. Peeper 49. Okay, let's do that. Let's set that up. Let's go to my stream ending scene. Peeper's a buddy of mine too. Oh, good. Okay, yeah, he's a good guy. He is a good guy. I like raiding Peeper. Let's see. Roll credits. So let's see what we have here today. Credits. Cheers from Journey. Thank you for the cheers. Moderator Super Cow Poopman. Follower Rory. And yeah, worked lettuce for the subscription. Wow. That's cool. Thanks again, Rory Jacob Evans, for following, being a new follower. That's so awesome. It's very awesome. So anyway, thanks a lot, guys, for hanging out. Hopefully you learned something about silicone molds. Hopefully this thing turns out right. And then on Thursday, we'll demold. We'll tear apart what we did, and we'll pour the second half. So, yeah, Thursday should be pretty interesting. So anyway, let's go head over to Peeper. We'll say hi, and thanks a lot, everybody, for hanging out. Let's set up that raid. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. So yeah. Gulp. Okay, let's go have some fun with Peeper. So thanks a lot, everybody. Okay, see you, bye.
Also misting a little bit, so I don't think it's going to get all that cold. Watermelon. Good for hydration.
All hands stand to battle stations.
Welcome, Stray Robotics. Oh, man. Thank you so much for that raid. Thank you for coming in and visiting. I hope all is well with you tonight. Thank you so much. Welcome.